I'm awfully sorry, I've forgotten your name, I'm afraid.
Hi Paul, I'm Trevor Meelam. I came in on the 3rd of May and you kindly gave me an instant number.
See the reference number, just so I can remind myself. Nine for you. Lovely, thanks, Trevor.
Okay, now further to that, Paul, what I've also since done, I've also written to Chief Constable Tim Smith and so on. The situation is, after I've had no response. After I last attended, you kindly sent 2 officers round to me on the Friday on the 5th, and that was officers PC Aaron and PC Dean. Also with me was 2 more victims, Richard and Toby Dingle. And I also came in about a week later and saw you with a Mrs. Farmer.
Remember that, yeah.
Who was a further victim. So we've got systemic and widespread. The crime that I reported at the time was crime against humanity, and I showed you that. The crime that I reported was under the International Criminal Court Act 2001, Article 7(1)(f), and there were 5 elements. The situation that I've now got is it's now been 5 weeks and nothing has happened. And when I look at the Home Office counting rules, there's a number of concerns I've got. Under the Police Act 1996, Section 44, it lays out guidelines of how crime should be recorded. So there should be an instant log, which you did, a record on the forced crime system, which should have gone down as torture under Article 7(1)(f). There should be an opening code that relays that. The deciding if it's a crime should be recorded is for the offences against the identified victim on the balance of probability. I quoted the crime. Also, this involves senior politicians and others. So the other thing that you're also bringing in there is Section 134, the Criminal Justice Act 1988, and a person in public office is a person who acts or purports to act otherwise than in a private individual capacity for or on behalf of an organisation or body which in the territory controlled by organisation or body relevant conduct occurs, functions normally exercised by governments. So this is where the MPs come in, and the people that I'm reporting are people such as Priti Patel, the past Home Secretary. I also have the evidence that I made clear last time, which has not been asked to be looked at, which includes letters which helps establish the mens rea element of the crime by governments over their civilian populations. I'm a civilian, Mrs. Farmer is a civilian, and the Dingle family are also civilians, whether acting in peacetime or situation of armed conflict. We're obviously in peacetime, but like I say, the judgment should be emphasised on Section 134 of the Criminal Justice Act 1988. The other thing that I highlighted last time, Paul, that I handed in was the Bishop's letter, where the representatives of the King in the House of Lords have said that this is a matter that should be dealt with by the ICC, the International Criminal Court. The bit of law that I gave you, the International Criminal Court Act 2001, comes under Statutory Instruments 2001 number 2505 as defined under Section 7(1)(f), and I have the evidence of that. That then aligns with the Rome Statute of the same Act. Now the problem I've now got is under the Home Office counting rules, things are not happening. So once a decision has been taken to record a crime, the incident record would often be closed. Well, I've not been told it's closed. And what should be happening on this type of thing, the only police force that are able to scope it are SO15, which is at the Met Police, New Scotland Yard. And they're the only police force division that can deal with war crime, genocide and crime against humanity, which this is. Recording a crime under the Home Office counting rules, SO15 would then scope. Initially, they would then consult to the CPS, which I, as a civilian, do not have access to. So it can only be done through the police. So basically, police have to decide to record it as a crime. That can only be done by SO15. The duty, therefore, of Kent Police and this police station, that within the 5 weeks we've gone, I've not heard anything. So basically, offences are being committed, but nothing is happening. There should be one crime recorded per victim, so myself, Jane Farmer and the Dingles. I'm coming to it. Each crime has a crime registrar. So what I'd also like is an update on what the crime registrar has done. The crime registrar. Each police force has a crime registrar. And they're the ones who relay to the Home Office. Because where I'm at the moment, Paul, is 5 weeks on. Nothing has happened other than the officers coming out. So we're now at a stage where this would have to be seen as non-feasance, which is negligence by Kent Police in action when they have a duty of care, which they're failing. The other levels, you've got malfeasance, which is unlawful public officer, intentional misconduct. So I don't believe it's that at this stage. But I do believe there's negligence going on. And the other one, you've got misfeasance, political, which is police deliberately abusing their position, which brings damage to persons. And at the moment, you've got 3 lots there, and there's more around the UK. So it's really, we're looking for an update.
Yeah, I understand. Okay.
As it's not been closed down, we've also got to take it that it is now a crime. But what are the police doing?
Yeah, okay, I understand. I think that. Can I just take your postcode again?
Yep, my postcode is TN240RR.
So what I'm doing is I'm going to pass this up to management.
Yep.
About your dissatisfaction and the reasons why, which I understand.
Can you also add to them that it's now, if something's not done, it's going to have to be seen as non-feasance.
Yeah.
And you may also, the staff upstairs may also want to contact headquarters and speak to the chief constable, because I've also written to him.
Yeah.
But this matter should be, as Kent Police are not qualified to scope it, because it would take international jurisdictional lawyers. Kent Police, what they need to be doing is passing it to SO15.
Yeah. Okay. Please remind me of your contact number, Trevor.
So my contact number is 07767 366 399.
07767 366 399.
Yep.
I know I have asked you this already from last time, but your email address again?
tmelam@aol.com.
Thank you.
The purpose of this video and the one last time, Paul, because obviously police could be concerned, is it's basically to create a public record, because if the UK police fail us, which would be seen as state crime under this act, then we then need to elevate it to the International Criminal Court. And with our group and 2 other groups, we're sitting on about 900 cases, where each case has got approximately 5 to 15 victims. We're also aware of over 52 suicide attempts, where some have actually been successful. what would normally be the protocol now? When
Well,
would
okay,
somebody get
it's-
in contact with me?
Yeah, so I'm going to have to forward it to, well, I'll copy our professional standards department, because any time someone's dissatisfied with the service they've received, we always do that. So that's
I think away from professional standards.
yeah, because they
My main concern is when does it go to SO15?
yeah, well, I'll have to refer this, I guess, to the management of our crime recording unit or our legal services department.
You'll find that each police force has a forced crime registrar,
Yeah,
which ties in with the Home Office counting rules.
yeah. Okay, so I will give you another number to go away with, because this is a follow-up, and I've linked it to the previous one and explaining why what your allegation's not the right word. The allegation was in the first one. This is your concern that no crime reports have actually been issued yet for you.
Well, under the Home Office counting rules, as we've not heard it's closed, it should be treated now as a crime.
Yeah.
So as a crime, we want to know how the police are going to investigate. However, as I understand from good authority, the only police that can actually quantify it as a crime and scope it would be SO15.
Yeah.
So I need to know, has it gone there? And if not, why not?
What was the first act? The International...
So you've got the International Criminal Court Act 2001, and it's Article 7(1)(f).
Article 7.
The only police force able to deal with genocide, war crime and crime against humanity is SO15. So therefore, it should have been referred by now.
And torture, wasn't it, as well, though?
Where it comes, that's the article.
I see.
The Article 7(1)(f)
Yeah.
is torture. That then aligns with the Rome Statute, which is 1998. It's a international treaty, and the article in that mirrors it's Article 7(1)(f), which is torture again. And what we're reporting is mental torture, and some of the victims even physical torture. One of the allegations is that one of the victims was subject to a malicious prosecution, put in a prison, and actually police officers beat him up. So it's quite serious stuff. And it also goes up to Home Secretaries and so on. The international criminal law on the Rome Statute, you then also bring in Articles 25, Articles 27 and Articles 30. So Article 25 removes individual, so it looks at the individual criminal responsibility. You've then got Article 27, the irrelevance of official capacity. This statute shall apply equally to all persons without any distinction based on official capacity, in particular capacity as head of state or government. So this also brings into it Home Secretaries and so on, which we've got evidence of.
So you, as well as not having any advice about a crime report, you haven't actually had any contact back from us as well?
All we've had is the two officers that you sent round.
Yeah.
You've also got Article 30 of the Rome Statute, which is a mental element, and for that we have letters from the official statespeople and other evidence which shows that they know the crimes are happening, and when in their official capacity they've then not dealt with them, which then brings in Article Section 134, the Criminal Justice Act 1988. Under the crimes against humanity, what we're saying, the acts that are committed, part of widespread systemic attack directed against any civilian population where there's knowledge of the attack. And that is also shown in the Hansard in a Westminster debate. So that's well documented in public domain. We're saying that tortures happen both mainly mental but also physical. It's psychological attack. And there's been persecution. There's been a lot of senior conservatives that have infiltrated organisations that have then deployed this.
There's been that, the crime, what did they were called again? The crime registrar?
Yeah, each police force has a crime registrar and they record your crimes and they decide, what's what. But it's difficult to see how they can decide what's what when they haven't had the next level of evidence that we've got. But it's not really for your police force to decide whether it's a crime or not. It's for your police force to refer to SO15, who are geared up for genocide, war crime and crime against humanity.
Let's write that down. Sums it up.
Thank you. Also with SO15, because it comes under your universal jurisdictional law and practice in England and Wales. We're recording it as a state crime.
Greatest typist, that's why I'm just going back.
It's okay, Paul, you're doing a fine job. You're doing what the first stage of policing should be. Sadly, the Kent Police Force and many of the others are failing a little bit further along the line.
Well, because it's, because of the nature of the allegations, as you said before, it's not the normal thing that that's reported over the counter to me. I'll be honest, you're the first person that's ever reported something like that.
Yep.
So we have obviously had, that's why we're looking towards guidance from our, headquarters departments. So that's who I'll refer this to the management of them.
When will that take place?
Well, I'll do it instantly in the next sort of you know, because I was sending them this, what I've just typed here, by email, you know, so that, you know, that's like instantaneous, you know.
I mean,
So I sincerely hope that someone will contact you, you know.
I hope so, because at the moment we're, you know, it's going into non-feasance, which is neglect of duties in public interest. Police have a duty of care.
Yeah, I'll summarise it to that.
And non-feasance, there's three main wrongs that police can do, which is malfeasance, non-feasance and misfeasance. And the place that I think we're looking at the moment, sort of 5 weeks on, for the fact that we've not been told that this is not a crime, it's the negligence, the inaction, when there's a duty of care which is failing, because it means that victims continue to torture.
Okay, well, I'm sorry you've had no communications. All I can do is my best to make sure that this is forwarded to someone that will.
No, all that you've done, I'm very happy with, Paul.
I'm just going to, the last bit what you said to me, I'm just going to summarise it with that.
Uh-huh.
They have a duty of care to record.
Yeah, so basically what I've been going under is the Home Office counting rules. Which defines how a allegation is made, how it's recorded, and the protocol of the police. So I'm trying to find it here. So basically you've got this document here, Paul. So that's the Home Office rules.
Reporting and recording.
Yep. So basically we know the law, we uphold the law, and we expect the police to do so also. You've also got, in the middle of the police oath, is to uphold fundamental human rights. Article 3 is to protect people from torture. So that ties in with this. You've also got right to a fair trial. A lot of the victims have not had fair trials. There are judges that are allowing false hearsay. They're allowing false evidence in court. And they are refusing some of the victims their evidence and so on, which is failure of due process, which comes under liberty of the subject 1354. And this also ties in with the Bill of Rights 1688.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you again.
There you go. There you are again.
Okay.
Leave it with me, and I will make sure that goes hopefully to the right. Well, not hopefully. I'll make sure it goes to the right person.
Lovely.
Okay.
Thank you, Paul.
Maybe see you again sometime.
Thanks.
All the best.